So we need to have a quick eulogy to the spawn overload glitch. As of patch 2.0.0 and the Mega Dimension DLC in Legends ZA, you can no longer overload the 6 alphas in the middle of Zone 20. You can no longer overload the Charmander spawns. You can't overload the Gibbles. You can't overload the Chespins. It doesn't work anymore. No matter what I tried, I tested it for an hour last night, I was unable to get the spawn overloads to work. And so, I decided to just play the DLC. But if you were worried, don't be. Because look what I have here. Look at that. I've already got a shiny T-Pig on screen, which is wonderful. And I've actually got an entire zone with T-Pigs everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Even Pig Knights. Look at this. They're all over. Now, the general flow of the DLC is pretty straightforward. You'll get it immediately upon playing. You make a donut. You go pick a portal. It'll show you the Pokemon that are inside. You hop inside. And then you shiny hunt the Pokemon. But it raises a lot of questions, right? Like, how do I make the good donuts? How do I get the Pokemon that I want in the portals? What method do I use to hunt the Pokemon in the portals? So I think the most efficient way to do this is to walk you through what I think is the most optimal order of operations to do a shiny hunt in the Mega Dimension DLC. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is get a donut. And so to get a donut, you need to go and see Ancha. I'm at the point in the story where I can use 7 berries, but I was able to get sparkling power donuts when I was able to do 6. So as just a prerequisite, if you want to use sparkling power, it's not necessary. Honestly, the method is so good that you don't even need sparkling power if you have the shiny charm. But we're going to go for sparkling power because I think people are going to be real interested in that. So I can use up to 7 berries, and I'm going to use 7 berries. I'm going to use 7 Hyper Aqua berries to max out my sweet score, because sweet is the flavor group that contains the shiny buff. See how she says up there? I think shiny Pokemon would be tempted by a sweet donut. She just said it. And I'll put a graphic up on screen of all the powers that are associated with the different flavors. And then we're going to make the donut. And we're going to see what we get. And you can mash A through this cutscene, all that good stuff. And, okay, we got Sparkling Power, Dragon Level 2, Teensy Power, and Catching Power. But I didn't expect to get Shiny Power the first time. So I'm going to show you how to re-roll your donuts so you don't waste your berries. You can close the game. And then once you're on the title screen, you're going to hit up on the D-pad, X and B together, and it's going to give you this backup data. And the backup data is going to drop me at the last Pokemon Center I used. But the game state, that is the stuff that's in my inventory, all my Pokemon, all that good stuff, was saved from the last time that I fast traveled, which of course was me fast traveling to the place. You can see I still have my 8 Hyper Aqua berries here. And so now I can just fast travel back to Hotel Z. And we can go attempt to make another donut and see what powers we get. It is RNG which powers you get from your donut. We're going to get different donuts every time. So I'm going to pop in my 7 Aqua berries this time. Let's see what we get. We got Sparkling Power Ghost Level 1 Humongo. I'm not crazy about that one. I'm going to run it again until I get one that I really like. Because this is one of the highest RNG parts of the process, right? Is getting a donut that matches the type of the species. There is Sparkling Power All Types. I've seen pictures on Twitter of Sparkling Power All Types. But I think you need to get pretty lucky, or you need to be able to use all 8 berries to get that. But it's all going to be under that sweet bucket, right? And the higher sweet score you have, the better powers you're going to get and the more powers you're going to get. And then that's true of all the other flavors that might be in your donut. So if we looked at our chart, green had the encounter power on it. So I really like this Hyper Aqua berry. And once I can use 8 of them, I think it's going to be really good because this gives us sweet and fresh, which is the green flavor. So we could theoretically get Sparkling Power, Alpha Power, and Counter Power. And if I get that, I'm going to freak out, right? But it's RNG. So this one, look at that. We got Encounter Power and Alpha Power level 3. So this one would be really juicy for alpha hunting. You wouldn't get the increased shiny odds, but you'll be getting crazy amounts of alphas. To be honest, I'm tempted to use it because it's so good. I'm going to use that. So we're going to keep that donut. We have Alpha Power level 3. I think people are going to be pretty excited about that. And now we can pick whatever type we want. So that's donuts out of the way. So now how do we get the zones that we want, right? How do we re-roll these zones? So I take a look at my zones. I'm looking for like a Mudkip or like maybe a Trico. Oh, I've actually got Mudkip up there, and it's in a medium hyperspace wild zone. So that would be pretty nice, but I want to show you how to re-roll the zones. So the easiest way I've found to re-roll the zones is to use benches. Flying doesn't reset them, but rolling over from day to night does. So this will reset all of our zones so we can look for a target that we want to use our juicy donut on. We'll crack open the map, hit minus to get rid of all the nonsense. Ooh, we've got Chespin in there. That's pretty cool. But I've already got a shiny Chespin. Feebas is very interesting. Oh, I could do Feebas, but I'm going to reset this one. I really want to do a starter. Starter's kind of ripped for the video. Okay, what do we got? Oh, we got Mudkip. Okay, we got Mudkip in this zone. I'm super about that. We can go for a shiny Alpha Mudkip. I love that. So I'm going to pin this one. And I'm going to make sure that I fast travel before I go in because we want to make another backup save. Because once you go into the portal, it's going to make an autosave, but not a backup save. And that's really important because we want to be able to reset the positions of the Pokemon inside. And you'll see what I mean. Like when I go over here and I use my Alpha Power and Counter Power Donut, I'm going to plus to skip this cutscene. And let's see where our Mudkips are located. So we pop in. We're up on the roof. That's kind of nice. Okay, we look down here. All right, it's all Carvana down there. We don't want to get an Alpha Carvana. And we do have Mudkips down there. So we could use this spot. But I just want to show off that we can actually change the orientations of the Pokemon if they're not in a position that you like by using the backup save. So we're going to reboot the game. Up X and B on the title screen. Start from backup data. And then we just have to fly back to where our spot is. And then we use our same donut again. We still have the Alpha Power and Counter Power donut. We pop in, and who's on our left this time? Ah, see, the Mudkips are on our left this time. And look at all those Alphas. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Holy moly, Alpha Power 3 is crazy. And over on the right, we've got Carvana. So we might phase on a little Carvana. So how do you hunt these? Well, you could use runbacks. You could use, like, the method where you knock them all out and then wait for, like, you know, wait until they respawn and then save. But we don't have to do any of that because we have them in the perfect position to abuse fast traveling. So you can fast travel back to the entrance of the wormhole at any time. And every time we do this, we're going to be getting new Mudkip. So I can just spam fly to this point over and over again. And I'm resetting like 4 Alpha Mudkips every reset. I mean, this is insane. Oh, I didn't get any. Oh, no, I did get him. I did get an Alpha that time. So, yeah, I'm just going to let this run for a little bit because I have how much time on my clock? I've got 1,566 calories, and every time you open the menu, it's kind of pausing it. So I'm only using like 2 calories every time I do a warp here. And if you have a macro controller, which would be super nice, you could just record a quick macro like that. And then I can just double tap my button using my Gully Kit KK2 Max. Link will be in the description for that. And if I double tap my button, it'll just do this action for me over and over again as fast as it possibly can. And then I can just come back in like, you know, 5 minutes or something and then check and see if I got my Alpha Mudkip. All right, so it's been a little bit. Let's stop this baby and check. I've still got 1466 on the calendar. Oh, I have 2 shiny Alpha Mudkips. Okay. That was a genuine reaction. Wow, I didn't phase on a single Carvana, and I got 2 shiny Alpha Mudkips. That is unbelievable. We're gonna have to take a photo of that one. Well, that is incredible. Look at those babies. All right, well, I guess I gotta go catch them now. I didn't even come close to using my entire timer. I can like finish this zone and everything. Oh, actually, hold on. I got a de-aggro from these guys because I forgot to tell you something. Oh my god. Oh, no. It auto-saved. It auto-saved. If I quit, it should have auto-saved on my last teleport. Oh god. Dude, I thought I lost the Mudkips. Dude, I thought I lost the Mudkips by going down and being crazy, but then I remembered that it does autosave every teleport, so guess what? They're still there. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I was gonna say that if you save in here, that you can be safe from if you get knocked out like that, or if you run out of time because you're way too close to the timer on your resets. But thankfully I'm not. I've definitely got a save. The autosave backed us up because thank goodness shiny save. And so now let me actually catch my guys. That's so many alphas, man. Okay. Plus solar beam. Love ball. I have to make sure to not faint. Oh my goodness. Plus solar beam. And love ball. We got 2 love ball alpha mudkips. And I kid you not, I think I started this video 30 minutes ago. So, yeah, and most of that was me resetting for good starter configurations. I hope you enjoyed this one. Oh my god, this is gonna get insane. Imagine if I had sparkling power as well as encounter power and alpha power. It would have been insane. So that'll about wrap it up for this one. I'm going to try to keep it short because people have been complaining about my videos being too long. I wanted this to be a whole mega shiny hunting guide, and I was going to cover how to use the donuts to get better berries and how to farm the berries so that you can make the good donuts. But maybe I'll make another video on berry farming. I think one thing I failed to mention is that if you're doing the fly spam method and the timer runs out, like you fly spammed for long enough and you didn't have sparkling power, you don't have the shiny charm, and you didn't get a shiny, and you want to reset, go back to your backup save. Fast traveling inside of the dimension portals creates an autosave, but it doesn't create a backup save. So you can go back to your backup save before you ever went into the portal, and then you can redo it with the exact portal that you wanted without having to go hunt for a new portal and make a new donut and all that stuff. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Please click the like button, subscribe. I got more good Mega Dimension stuff coming. RIP spawn overload glitch. Love you. Peace.